Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Threads from Stamperia. We are making a mini album. We finished our pages last time and I had you go ahead and make your cover. I have a video on how to do that. Just look for my playlist on construction basics and it'll show you how to make your cover and how to make your hinge, and the measurements for all that are in the cutting guide, which is linked down below. This is a design project for Scrap and Create, and you can get all of your supplies there. I will also have a link for that down below. So let me show you where we're at. Honestly, I couldn't remember the pages, the order that I was going to do, but this is the order that I finally ended up with. I think this is how I had them originally. So they just need to go in the book, and I also have decided what I'm going to do here. We're going to do a waterfall. And we can actually do that after we put the pages in, so we might as well go ahead and put these in. And I usually like to go back to front. So I am just taking, I've got tape on the either side. I just take a couple inches of the tape up and actually fold it this way so that it'll be sticking out. And then there's a pocket on the side of your pocket page, and that just slides over your hinge. Do not put it all the way to the bottom. Leave yourself a little bit of space. Hang on, I've got a combination of I'm blind and super bright light right now because the sun is just pouring in. Off to my left I have east facing floor to ceiling window. Go, and it is, I don't know what time it is. Let me see, what time is it? It's about 8 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July belated if you celebrate. I put that on backwards. Okay, hang on. I could leave it, but I don't want to. Once again, undo is my friend, and might as well just take that off. And not off to a good start today. And what I'm going to do, hang on, just slide some, it's the backing of some score paper to try and prevent that from re-sticking while I do the other side. There we go. Okay, I'll let that dry. That should have gone this way, but this will dry very quickly. It'll just make it a little bit trickier to get it on. Okay. There we go. That's better. That's how I wanted that. Okay, there's that. This one is going to go this way. And when you've got one with a lot of flaps like this, just be careful to make sure that you actually put the correct opening onto your hinge. Looks good. this one is going to go here. This is so pretty. Okay, and then this one is going to go like this. Just making sure they line up, you know, reasonably well across there. Good. That looks good. These. Now, the waterfall. I have all the parts. And I haven't matted it yet, but we're going to need to mat the background. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, it's going to be wide enough. We might not need to mat the background. Let me see. Well, we'll make the waterfall and then we'll decide. So what I like to do when I do a waterfall is I make it on a base and then I attach it into the book. So for our base, and I always make the base a little bigger than I need, because nothing's ever exact. So this is, and the reason I like to do a waterfall in a 6x6 like this is it gives you a place to put 4x6 photos without having to trim them. So this is 6 1/4 wide by 6 1/2 long, and the length is most likely more than we need, but it can be trimmed. I like to make it longer and then trim it. These pieces, the waterfall pieces, and again, this is all in the cutting guide, are 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. And they're scored across the top at hatch. And for waterfalls, I don't trim corners. And I've got 4 of these. I may end up with only 3. I'll decide as I go. I really like the crisp edge that I get burnishing on this glass mat. I've used a self-healing mat for years and recently switched to the glasses, you probably know, and I like it so much. All right. And I am just going to line the top one up right along the top edge of our base piece, 6 1/4 wide this way. Make sure I got that lined up. It's a little bit to the right. That's okay. I can deal with that. Okay. Then you're going to line the second one up and butt it right up against the tab of the one you just put down. And make sure everything's lined up along the edge of your base. Where is that? So I just take off a little bit, get it lined up, then I'll press it down and pull the rest, but I have to pick it up so I can see it. Being awkward. And then the next one, same thing. Good. We got one more. Good. Now, these all should have a reveal of a 1/2 inch, but it's actually in reality going to be a tiny bit less because the fold eats a little of that up. So I'm just double checking. Yeah. So if I want this, see, this is bigger, so I'm going to trim it. And if I trim it, it's going to be trimmed to, let me think. So if this had been 1/2 inch reveals all along, it would have been 5 3/4, so it would have been 6 1/4, but I really need it to be just a hair less than that. So I'm just going to cut like a shallow 6 1/4. That's pretty good. Now, so this is going to go here. And technically it doesn't have to be matted, but I think a little more of the white is going to show than I want. So what I'm thinking is, rather than using one of my pattern papers when only about 1/8 of an inch is going to show, is I'm going to use craft. It'll go really well with that. So it needs to be, this should be about square, right? So 6 3/16. by 6 1/4. This is 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. So I'm going to make it 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. Let's see how that looks. And that, I just want to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the hinge at all. And I feel like it's just a little close to that hinge. So I'm going to make it, I'm just going to take a little bit off the one side. Okay, and what I did is I just drew an arrow to the top so that I would know which was my narrower, since it's no longer a square, but it's close. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll do this. And like very little of that's going to show, but a little will. And then before we put this down, we're going to put seam binding. I think I'm way off camera. I'm holding this like I don't even know where. Okay, so before I put this down, I'm going to put seam binding on the back because I want to use a seam binding closure. And so I don't forget, I think I might as well just do that now. And this piece is no doubt way longer than I need. I just want to make sure I have a piece big enough to tie in a bow on the front. This is plenty big enough, more than big enough. Okay. Right, so for this, I am just going to put a piece of tape. This is 6 1/4, so I want to center my tape at 3 1/8, give or take. You don't have to be crazy about it. And then we're going to center our seam binding, give or take, on the tape. Okay, there. And tie it on the front. We could mat this outside the book, and we might. I haven't cut the mats yet, just I'm dithering a little. I just want to make sure I don't forget that. I've been known to do that. Okay, so let's put this in. Turning that so I can get this outer edge. In my line of sight. Okay, go. Wipe. Okay. And then this is going to sit on top of that. And yeah, as you can see, very little of that showing, but it's enough. I'm just checking it for where I'm going to put it and its fit and that kind of thing. Looking good. Okay. I like that. Let me think. I think I'll go ahead and cut those mats. Might as well put them on outside the book, make life easier. All right, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to cut mats for that. Okay, so what I did, I had this 8x8 piece, and I cut it 6 1/8 wide strip, and then I cut 4 1/8 to go there, I think. I'm just checking this to see if I like how it looks. But in order to continue the pattern down, I would need 4. Normally I cut them 1 inch, but that's not going to work. So I'm going to cut 4 3/4 inch pieces. It's not going to work because I don't have enough, it wouldn't be enough. It's not 4 inches tall. So I am going to cut 4 3/4 inch pieces. Now, normally, let me put that aside. I like to fully mat things. I like to fully mat my side inserts, fully mat my waterfalls. But because this is going to be the only place pretty much in the book, other than mats, separate mats, and even those won't be big enough, that you could do a 6 1/4, 4x6 photo without cropping. I don't really mind because you'll probably put a photo right on top of this anyway. So it's going to go like that and just continue the image. So it's important we keep these in order. Let me slide it over. So they're going to go like this in this order on this waterfall. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink those. Ink on the front, ink glue on the front of that. Can't find my words. So today I mentioned is the 4th of July, and this is what I am doing. In my family, we don't, I don't want to say we don't celebrate 4th of July. It makes us sound unpatriotic, but technically I guess we don't. We don't do anything even too much around 4th of July, because where we live, fireworks are constant in the days leading up to and even after 4th of July. And we all have pets, so, none of us want to leave our pets alone. So yesterday my sister and I went out and visited a local nursery, bought some flowers for our gardens, and went out to lunch, and that's pretty much all I'm doing for this long weekend, so that I can be home. I'm in a new house since last 4th of July, and I don't know. I noticed last night there were a lot of fireworks, and I'm kind of close to our downtown city area where the fireworks are, the big ones for the town. So I don't really know what to expect this year. Hang on. So next year, if my cats aren't too upset by it this year, maybe I'll go see the fireworks. But for this year, I will be doing this, which is fine by me. I just put that little scrap of craft in so that I could see the edges a little more clearly where I'm putting these things. And you can use some craft or pink or something like that, solid inside, and I might. But like I said, this is kind of the major place for big photos, so I'm not too fussed about it. Also, it's nice to put something in there, but I don't know yet if I'm going to or not. Okay, and last one. Oh, that's pretty. Yes, that's very pretty. I'm happy with that. Okay. Tie that. I think that I will put this down. Let's see, do I want to use score tape or do I want to use glue? I think I'll use score tape, only because it'll grab on and I don't have to worry about it buckling at all while it dries. Although this stuff grabs on in a hurry. How do I want to do it? I'm dithering. I'm going to glue it. Score tape's kind of a pain. Okay. So I need to get a good visual of exactly where this is going. And I think that's it. Yeah. And the reason I like to turn it sideways is because that way I can be sure that the outside and the top and bottom are even and straight. If it's a little wonky in here, I'm not as worried. It won't be as visible. And I need to make sure these are about centered, and I think it would probably behoove me to add a little tape there. Or a little glue even, but just to keep them from sliding and being in a weird place. good right there. And it's a little bubble there. I think that's okay. Let me see. Thanks. Damaged the paper a little, but that's okay. It won't ever be seen. That's better. Okay, and then I'm just going to tuck all these ends in so I don't accidentally glue them. Sticking a little glue under that ribbon. Okay. Don't put it on upside down. Okay. Looks good. All right, now I'll untie it, press it down a little bit, and lift it up. Oops. Looks good. Okay, and I'll have to trim those. Those are definitely way too long. But I don't think I have a pair of scissors handy, so we shall leave them for the moment. Good, and so we need to decide what we're going to put there, and also the cover. Probably I ought to pick whatever I'm going to put here, and what I'm thinking for there is something not very you know, nothing bold, because we're going to add things on top. So I was thinking of either, or maybe both, the buttons or the newsprint, and then maybe do quite a bit of layering and flowers. So maybe the newsprint and the buttons. I don't know. We'll play with it. Let me take a quick break. Just be a few seconds for you. And I think it's going to be a few seconds for you. What time is it? How long have we been recording now? 40 minutes? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pick out, what am I going to pick out? I'm going to pick out whatever I'm going to put on the cover and whatever we're going to do here. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. I am back, and I picked out some things, and as you can see, I'm playing with this ribbon. I'm going to use this for my closure. It's like it's silk organza or something. But obviously you could use any ribbon you like or a seam binding. So let me get this attached so I can get going with the cover. It is hours later. I have just been so lazy today. I don't know if it's lazy, but maybe unmotivated is the word. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do is attach it in the middle of the spine. That looks about right. I think that's too long now. You know, I'll just make it smaller. And I mentioned earlier that it's the 4th of July, so I haven't been completely unproductive. I made some potato salad, I made a loaf of bread, I made some coleslaw. I am home alone and I'm not doing anything today because, as I mentioned, my family doesn't, we don't like to leave our pets alone on 4th of July, so we don't do anything, but I am going to make myself a little cookout barbecue thing. And then I'm pretty sure, I mentioned earlier too, that this new house, I probably will be able to see the town fireworks from here. We'll see. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. And so I just attach that there, and then I'm not pulling on it. I'm just making sure that it is flat and smooth. I'm not stretching it. Okay. And I haven't cut the back, but I'm going to, so let me go ahead and get that ready. I don't have that much left to do in terms of, everything. I have the inserts, but in terms of the actual construction, so I just want to do that so that you guys can see this video in a timely manner. And I am off tomorrow as well, but I'd like to be able to finish recording today so I can edit tomorrow. Okay, there we go. Now, for the front, I mentioned the page with the buttons on it, and I had it out. Let me get it. But, where is it? Oh, maybe it's over here. I don't know what I did with it. Hang on. What did I do with it? Well, I don't know what I did with it. But I didn't like the scale. I thought it was a little busy looking in the 8x8. So I cut this piece out of the 12x12. This is the lower left corner. And then on the upper right is this on that same page. And I cut that for the spine. And it's going to look like it's sort of wrapping around from here, even though it isn't. So that'll be good. Let me get this done. And inking. And I'm trying to find my flowers. I had them out this week because I was looking at them to see what I had. And I haven't found them yet, but they're here. And I have my charms that you get when you order from Scrap and Create. And I also have the die cuts for this collection. And they are here somewhere. They say that on the top. And you get those at Scrap and Create as well. Okay, I might as well do this one while I'm at it. Double checking that everything is right side up, and this is the front. that's not straight. Just give that a little tug. Okay, that's good. We're going to put other things on here, but that's our base. And what did I do with the baby wipe? I do not know. It is, I think. All right. And I'm going to put the spine on. I wish you could see. Oh my gosh, that seems wide. No, I guess it's all right. Off to my, it does seem wide, but I've already got all that glue on it. Thanks. No. We're just gonna work with it. The cats are off to my side and they're so cute. I'm sorry if you don't like cats. They like to share one bed and they bathe each other. It's the cutest thing. Okay. Oh, I feel like I should probably take this off and trim it down. Too late now. All right. You know what? I'm just going to burnish the heck out of it. You know what? I kind of wish I'd gotten some rice paper instead and done that on the spine. It always looks so nice. Okay, that's all right. It's a little wide, but it'll be fine. Now, on the inside, oops, I decided, is this the 8x8? Yeah, this is the 8x8. I decided to just put this piece here because it's the only place besides the waterfall where you could fit a full 4x6 photo. So I decided to just do that. Whoop. What that was all about. Okay. Like I need a little bit more glue right there. And I do have side pocket inserts in there. We're going to work on those as well. Let's get this tied. And of course, we're going to add more stuff to this cover as well. Why are you? It's like I think it's catching on something there. Okay. Let's tie this. Just. And I think I know what I did with those flowers. It just occurred to me. Okay. I kind of like big froofy bows on these kind of feminine albums. And let's see. Okay, so I have these. And here are my little charms. And I have a couple of flowers from my stash, but I have a package of flowers just for this project that I need to find. And then I have these little blue ones from my stash. And here's the die cuts. Oh, here's the flowers. Okay. Here's the flowers. And then you know that glittery silver and gold ribbon that I like so well? I actually have a glittery pink version of it, so I'm going to use some of that. And I was thinking I might use that, or maybe just something else. Yeah, I do want to add some layering to this cover. Oh, yeah, see, here's the 8x8, and I just didn't care for the scale. It just looked too polka dotty, if that makes sense. I like it, and I'll probably use it on one of the side pocket inserts. I just didn't want it on the cover. Okay, I went and pulled some more of my own other charms that I had. I know we're not doing a charm closure, but we might want to tuck some into, and I have some of these crystals. We might want to tuck something into our flower cluster. I love this one. Just brought a little bowl I have that has little bits. Found another flower. I have this thing, but I think it's too fancy for this album. I think it's meant to be a bridal headpiece or belt or something, but it was on sale and I bought it because it's glittery and called money. All right, we may be able to do something with that. Okay, let's see. Let's set these aside for the moment. Let's get our base done so I know what I'm working with. I think these I may leave most of these for inside. I like this. These out. All right, let's see. Let me just put the book aside and let's just sort through these for things I like. The little buttons. I sew, so this collection appeals to me. I don't know if you don't sew it, if it still would. I think it could. I don't think you would have to sew to like it. I used to, years ago, make custom hand-embroidered baby clothes, christening gowns, things like that. If I think of it, I'll get one to show you. Just pulling over things that might work on the cover. I don't really want to use the spools, I don't think, on the cover. There's a lot of them though, so I could use one underneath something else. See, now that I could use under something to give me a little lift. I don't think I'd use that modern sewing machine, so I could use that for some lift. That might be cute on the back. Let's put that there. Okay. That's kind of cool. I'm just playing around with some things that I have here. Definitely going to do flowers. So I'm just sort of laying these down to see if anything jumps out as something I definitely want to use. I feel like think I definitely want to use this. Maybe something like that. Of course, these are too big right now. I'll have to trim them down. And then the flowers. Let me trim these a little, and I'll probably tear them as well, but let me trim them first. You know what? I think I'll use my little trimmer and do that here. I'll take some of the height off of that. And that. I'll leave that. Okay. So we do that, and then something like that. So I just need to take a little bit of that one off. It's a little high. So I'm just kind of trying to get those to a scale that works a little better. Put that there. And remember, I had these pieces that I know I'm not necessarily going to use because I just don't care for them that much. So we could use those underneath to give these a little bit of lift. Or I could put these on flat and maybe put these under the flowers. I don't know. Let me think. I'm kind of liking that. I had these two that I liked. And that. And these are going to stand out more if I tear them, or even if I don't tear them, but I ink them. And we have our flowers. Flowers out. These are from Scrap and Create. These are from Prima. Doesn't say which collection. Oh, With Love. This is from the With Love collection. And these are 49 and Market. It is FL, I assume that stands for Flowers, Mini Series 01 in the color Storm. And the SKU is MS-88435. And again, these are from Scrap and Create. Let's dump those out. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I like these sort of like that. So I'm just going to tear a little bit there. This side I'm not going to worry as much about. I maybe tear a little of the corner off just because I know I'm going to have flowers at that side. And then this one. Like that. I don't really want to tear that little leaf off. That's why I didn't tear that edge, but I think it'll look better if I do, so I'm going to. Something like that. Okay, let's do that. Oh, sorry about that. That must have sounded awful. that. Way too much glue down. I'm going to put that there. I'll put that right about there. And I have, there it is, like my baby wipe. This one. Again, a lot of these are probably, or at least the right side's going to be covered, I think, with flowers. And, you know, we have that as well, which we might even use inside, but I like it. Let's play with flowers, and I need something, hang on. I want to put a little something inside this to lift it up so it's a little flatter while I'm doing this. Let's get him down because I definitely want to use him. Get him about where I want him. I don't know why I'm saying him, it's a pair of scissors. Okay. I'm just getting it clear in my eyes where I want it. Just right about coming across that corner. Like that. Okay. Now, I also like these. All right, let's lay this out again now that I have that there. I've got the lighter one there. I wonder if I want this one that's kind of folded. That one under there. Okay, and then this one right there, might as well just leave it where it is. Put that one there. And then this one like that. good. I think I'll put this one down next, but I want this button underneath. I'm going to tuck that under. Here we go. And that one. All right. Good. All right. Now we still have this side. Oh, that's sliding out. Let me turn it. Let me get rid of that. All right. This one. Layer that. And this one I want to put up underneath a little bit. Exactly did I have that? Right about in there, I think. And then we have this little blue button. I want up there. And I had, let's see, a pink one. I thought I had another blue button. I do. There it is. Maybe tuck that little blue button down there just to carry that color across. Okay, now it sounds like somebody's flying a drone. But I don't live in a high-rise, so no concerns about that. That was so awful. Just try to get that. There we go. All right, I'll put that there. We're gonna add crystals and things, so. Tipping that a little. It's tipped over further than I want. I kind of want to add another light pink one, but I don't see anywhere to add it. Maybe right there? Or is that just too much? That might be too much. Okay, we'll think about that. Alright, let's let that dry for a minute. Set that aside. Alright, let's see what we have. I have the charms that I brought over. That's some of my own, and then all my own, but ones that, these are the ones that I got from Scrap and Create. I love the corners. Maybe we'll put corners on, or at least a corner on the upper, maybe one of the big fancy ones. You can't see it, it's off screen. I'll bring it over in a minute. I just want to let it dry for a minute. I think we might use one of those. Oh, look, we have these. So if they have things, loops to hang them. And you know what I have? Although I kind of want to use this. I might use that inside. Although I think I could glue these with that little bail to the inside and you wouldn't be able to see it. So maybe, because I really like those. And some of these I'm going to use with the next collection that I have, which I forget the name of it, Atelier. Figure out how I could use this. I'm thinking of hanging it from the ribbon. All right, I'm going to have to lift up this tape. And using a garment pin to do it, and I have gold garment pins, and this is silver. I think I have some silver ones though, although it doesn't matter because this is gold. Maybe that would tie it together. Let's see. I probably have some silver ones if I want, but I think I'm gonna want silver. Hang on, let me see. Or black. Okay. I think I have these linked down below. I bought them on Amazon, and they came as a set with like, 3-4 colors, something like that. I had no idea how many were in there. I have enough of these to last 5 lifetimes. Okay, there we go. We do that, and maybe add, do I want to add a little something to it? I've got these, maybe another pearl. This little cameo is pretty. Let's get that one out. See if that detracts from it. Yeah, it does kind of detract from it. Let's just put this on. All I'm doing is pinning it to the ribbon that we're closing the book with. Okay, there we go. Now, let's add these. Do I want to add these first, or do I want to add my ribbons? Because I'm going to add ribbon, definitely. I'm just going to tuck a couple of these in, but I think I need to use different glue. So this is E6000. I think it's pretty toxic stuff. I don't use it too often, but for metal, it's good. And all right, what I do with my tweezers. I'm sure you all can see them, but I can't. There they are. Okay. So I am just dipping this in, and then I am going to, yikes, put it under there, like that. That made quite a mess with that glue. Oops. Hi, baby. I have a cat sharing the chair with me now. Yeah, hi. Hello. Oh, yeah, you don't want to go up there. That's where that nasty glue is. Well, I guess she does want to go up there. Well, way too much glue on that first one. And I'm just going to tuck this one in right next to it. There we go. Thanks. Come on. Sorry, I'm distracted by having a cat right by me. What are you doing, honey? Okay. All right. I may have to put some on top of those to hide all that glue. Okay. There we go. And actually, maybe we add the scissors on top, poking out. That's not bad. And that would hide an abundance of sins. Put that like that. Okay. Forgot that was in there. Okay, there we go. And let's see. Oh, I was thinking about doing a corner. I think that's a little dark for what I'm doing. I think that's good, other than I still have crystals and things I want to add. Oh, she just threw something on my foot. Okay. All right. Looking for the little bag these came out of so I can put them back in. I don't see it. It's probably right under my nose, but I don't see it. Okay, let me just slide those over. All right, crystals and whatnot. Oh my God, I gotta stop with that. I keep dropping it. Oh, let me see. Now that she's gone, I need to see if I can clean up a little of this glue that I put down. Scissors keep moving on me. I may need to add more glue, but for now they're fine. All right. Let's do the ribbon first. Okay. So I've got this pink, and I think I'm going to do it in loops. Just got big scissors. There. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. You know what? I don't want to use that. I am going to use Fabri-Tac. I just don't want to use that giant bottle of it. I've got my little one. Get that up in there. Okay. And of course you can use any ribbon you like, but I like this one and I use it a lot. Although I don't think I've used this pink one before. I think it's supposed to be rose gold or something. Okay, and I want this kind kind of in the same spot, just give it a little more bulk. And then I want that down. Okay, there we go. Under here. That one does not want to stick. There we go. There, that's good. I got up and I walked away, and I feel like this area here looks a little weird. I think I'm going to tuck a flower right there. When I walked back to it, it just looked like it needed something in that spot. And who knows, maybe it didn't, but it felt like it did to me. Okay, there we go. That's better. And let's see, how are we for ribbons? Maybe one right at the top. Okay, that looks good. Oh, that pair of scissors keeps moving on me. I'm gonna have to break out the E6000 then. starting to regret putting those down. Okay, there we go. They're still not great, but they're there. Turn where you can see. Okay. And where I've got a little glue right there, I can come back later with a glue eraser. It's one of these, and it'll lift up that glue. So that's why I'm not fussing over it too much. I know I can go back later and get it. Okay, now I think let's do gold. And I think I'm going to put my little tape measure thing back and put that there. Yikes, that's more glue than I want. Sometimes that wants to seep. Okay. Let me try it another way here. Just clean my tweezers. There we go. And I think I'll put a little crystal one next to it. And it's kind of a lost cause apparently. Keep that tape measure where I want it. Whoops, that landed on top of a flower. I am being very awkward today. Sorry about the banging. That's Cat playing with the blinds. That's good, okay. And let's see. And let's put that one down there. Okay, that's good. And one of these ones, these are Aurora Borealis. Okay, there we go. I think we want another little, maybe one of these little silver ones. Or no, I think one of these little tiny auroras. I just want that to be a group of 3 right there. And we have this. We have our little charms. I feel like maybe it needs another little charm. We'll see. We'll get back to that. I think that it looks pretty good right now, though. You know, I should have done that last because I still have stuff to do inside, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then we will finish up there's nothing really left to do except the inserts. So I think what I'll probably do is what I usually do, and that's go through and make all the inserts and come back and just show those to you, because you don't really need directions for how to do a photo mat, although I can tell you how to do it. And then we'll do whatever embellishing we want to do on the inside. So anything that I feel like it needs instruction, I won't do. I'll just, show you how to do it when we get to it. But anything that's just a mat, a piece of paper that's matted, I'll just do. All right, I have done all of the inserts, and now we just have a little embellishing and then we're done. Just cleaning up a little bit here. I have to say, I walked away to let everything dry and do some other things, and I came back and I love it. I think it's really pretty, but here's my only but. I feel like I've done this exact cover like 4 times this year with the cluster of flowers at the bottom and the ribbon. I love it. I'm not unhappy with it, but I am going to have to, I think, stretch and think outside the box for my next cover and do something different, but I do like it. Alrighty. Actually, now that I'm seeing it again, because it's been a few hours since I had that thought, now that I'm seeing it, I really do love it. I don't know if you can tell on camera that these are really sparkly flowers. So pretty. Okay, so let me show you. Let me give you measurements. Now, of course, you can do whatever you like. This is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and that goes in the actual belly band here. And then in the pocket, this one is smaller because I kind of wanted to hide it. So this is 5 by 5, and that goes in this side in the actual, let me get this out of the way, in the pocket. And this one goes in the belly band. And if you want to maintain the sort of secret pocket thing, you could just wouldn't put this one in, or put this one in on top of this one, like that, and stagger them, okay? And then this is from the die cuts, and I'm going to put it right on this band. And I know that's covering this flower, but that's all right. This flower is everywhere in this book, so I'm not too concerned about it. And I think I'll just put the glue here, as well as here, because you want to make sure you don't, this thing is wider than the actual belly band, so you want to make sure you don't put glue where it's going to overtake. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay. And for the inside, the side pocket inserts, drew blank, they're all the same. I used this one sheet and cut it in 4, slightly smaller than the full 4. They're 5 3/4 square, the mats. And the actual inserts are 5 7/8 square, and I used my scallop on the corners. And then on the back, I used this same paper, but I had scraps. So 2 of them have this paper from the 12 by 12, and 2 have it from the 8 by 8, and this side's from the 12 by 12. But otherwise, they're the same. Okay, and then here, and you know what I was kind of thinking is this would have been cool on the cover, and then add the flowers, but it is what it is, and I like it where it is. Now, what happened here is I just cut random sizes that fit, but I can tell you what they are. This is 2 1/8 by 3 1/2, and I matted it on both sides because I was thinking that I would put a grommet and maybe some baker's twine. But then I realized that added quite a bit of bulk, especially if you were going to tuck pictures and things in here. So the rest of these I only did on one side. I think I might have done another one on 2 sides. This one's 2 1/2 by 3 1/2, and on this one I used my stub corner trimmer, and that one goes in there. And then this one is one-sided, 2 1/2 by 4 1/4, and there's room for more in here. I just didn't, I didn't want to take up all the space. Oops, is that one not? I'm trying to take the actual pocket. Okay, so this one I used the stub, and it's 3.5 by 4.5. That was there. And then this back one, I did, yes, only the front one did I do both sides, is 3.25 by 5. And that's back there. Okay. And nothing here. Side pocket insert. Here, I did 5.5 by 5.5, rounded the corners. And again, I only did one side. I left the other side for pictures. You could do both. And this one is, this one's actually a rectangle, 5.25 by 5.5, I think. Yeah, 5.25 by 5.5. My goodness, I'm just knocking things over. Okay. And side pocket insert. I put that one in backwards? I did. There we go. Now here, I wanted to, now this you've probably already heard because I would have talked about it in the walkthrough video, which I'm getting ready to film. But this pocket here is meeting this envelope. Remember a couple of times I said, oh, it's catching on something? That's what it was. This is almost hitting this exactly when the book is closed, and it's catching. So what I'm going to do on the cutting guide is I'm going to have you cut this a little bit wider so that this pocket is a little taller on yours and won't catch on this. But what I am going to do, and you can still do it, is I'm going to put this here as kind of a tab to help lift this. And then that, I think, will help mine with that issue. And the other thing I need to do is cover my magnet. Oops. And I did a fussy cut from one of the sheets of just one of the roses. And I'm just going to glue that on. So let me go ahead and do that. And I am not going to ink it. I don't want to call a huge amount of attention to it. I'm just going to put it just about like that. Okay, and then this piece, which I'm going to put sort of like that, is white on the back. So I need to mat that with something so it won't look quite so, maybe that. Because most of it's not going to show. So let's do that. And move that. I'm not sure I have a pencil over here. Looking through the pile of stuff that's off to the side here. I do not see one. Okay, hang on. Let me grab a pencil. Oh, what was that? What happened? Were you under my chair? Did I hit you? Okay? Okay. Oh, there you go. Got a piece of paper to play with? All right. Okay, so I am going to, and I'm going to cut it right in the middle, which I know is a waste, but I actually don't want to do that. That really is a waste. Hang on. Let's use this. This is closer to the size and won't be such a waste. Okay. So I'm just going to trace this. And you don't actually even need the whole thing, because most of it's going to be glued. And I don't have to ink the whole back of it because only some of it is going to show. Okay. And I mean, you can still do this because I think it'll look cool, but you don't actually have to do it because if you make your pocket bigger. Okay, I'm just giving that a little bend because I felt like it was cupping a little. So I think that's enough. How much do I want? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to put it so it lays down with right between the L of school and the O of on the along the edge. So I'm just going to use my fingers to let me know where I need glue. Put that where you can see it. So I'm not putting any glue past where I had my fingers. And I'm going to center that by eye. Put it down. Lift it up to make sure it is straight. That looks pretty good. And I may come back later, I haven't decided, and add, you know, like another charm or something to this, like a scissor charm. But that involves the E6000, which I don't feel like dealing with right now. Okay, so that looks good. And again, your pocket's going to be higher. And you should already have that in the cutting guide, and I will have mentioned it in the walkthrough. So there's that. And here I had this one, which I thought looked really neat right there. Again, from the chipboards. So let me go ahead and ink it. And I'm not doing this as a tuck spot or anything. I'm just putting it in. Or putting it down, I should say. Oh, what? I didn't show you any inserts. I'll go back and show you the inserts on the page we just did. I'm just eyeballing that. Putting it down. Got a lot of ooze there. That looks good. There. All right. In here, I have just a square. This one I didn't do anything to the corners. I tried to mix it up. So this one's 5.5 by 5.5. And this one, I rounded the corners, and it's 5 by 5. And of course, this is just to give you an idea. Adjust these for whatever you need. And then I'm careful here because that's probably wet. And I've just got a little one in here. And this one I stubbed. And this is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Oh, jolly. So today, when I started this video, it was 4th of July. Today's the 5th of July. And I'm happy to say that my kitties did very well with the fireworks. It was like a war zone here for hours and hours and hours. It didn't stop till almost 2 o'clock in the morning, but... Oh, don't step on that. Don't step here. Yeah, no. Sorry, she was getting ready to step on the laptop where I'm recording the audio. Hey, baby. You're a brave girl, huh? You're a very brave girl. Okay. And, okay, so the last thing that I wanted to, well, actually, I wanted to mention this. I put this on and didn't really talk about it because it was from my stash, but you could do the same thing and just cluster some of the charms that you'll get with your order from Scrap and Create, or use anything you have from your stash. Whenever I'm in one of the sort of big box craft stores, I always check out the jewelry aisle, especially if they're having a sale on jewelry making stuff, and buy any charms and things that I like and just keep them handy. The other thing to show you is the back, which I forgot. I just used this. Now, this one I'm not, I'm not giving it to somebody. It's probably going to end up in my Etsy shop. So I didn't put anything on the back. But if you are giving this to somebody, what are you doing? Sorry, she's got into something over there. Anyway, if you're giving this to somebody, you might want to put one of these on the back that came with the chipboards, or something like one of these, just to dress up the back. I am not, because like I said, I'm not keeping it. I might, if I sell it, I might include one of these with that, just so the person who's giving it can add it if they want to. But in any event, so let me go ahead and tie this up And oh, you know what? I promised I would, or I mentioned that I would show you one of my baby things. Let me grab that so you can see why I like this sewing one. Hang on, I'll grab something. Okay, so I just grabbed a couple out of the closet. So just a little, I don't even know if you can see the whole thing, a little baby onesie embroidered with some birds. And these are mostly handmade. I don't do too much on machine. All the embroidery is by hand. And then just a little dress. Anyway, so I do like to sew, so this suited me. Okay, so next time we'll be continuing on with Stamperia. We're going to be using Atelier, but that is it for threads. You can get all your supplies at Scrap and Create. This is a design project for Scrap and Create. And there is a link down below for them, and also a link down below for the cutting guide. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because she's over there making a racket. Do you mind? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.